Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here from artplace.ca. This video is another fork off a previous project that I did, which is a melting snowman. And this one here, you know, I got this flat escarpment stone and a little pebble here. So this is what I was given. Make something out of it. So when I got this, I looked at it, and I love it when people give me these challenges. Joe's the worst for that because he picks something really, really hard. I thought when I put it down, I put it on top. And the first thing I thought about, I don't know if you guys can see that, I thought of a dog. I see a dog here, the nose, here's the mouth, a bear. I thought that was kind of cool. So the melting snowman is the theme I'm going to go with this again. So with the rocks, wash, scrub, wash, rinse, and you can use gesso or white paint. And I'm going to go over the supplies as I use them. And the problem is there's a lot of drying time involved when there's rock paintings. So I'm telling you, do a whole bunch at the same time. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm doing a whole bunch of projects at the same time. And during drying time, I do another project. During drying time, I do another project. So although you can still do it as an assembly line where you can make 10 projects at the same time, I'm just doing 10 individual projects and, filming as I go. So I'm using DecoArt, the DecoArt Media Gesso, and I ran out of the mixture that I had made up myself where it was thinned down. So I just dipped my brush into distilled water and then kind of dumped it in and went round and round. And this one here, I want it to be a little bit more textured. So I've got a little bit of the watered down gesso there. Did I just, oh, I did. I got paint on my sweater. Oh, Joe's going to make me wear my apron. Uh-oh. Paint. And then we'll do this one. So all I'm doing is I'm going to prep this, or prepare it with some gesso. And with this one here, if you're going to be leaving them outside or giving them to somebody, you're not sure what they're going to do, keep in mind the idea of sealing it with an outdoor sealer. Now, the DuraClear line is for indoor, outdoor use, and it comes in ultra matte, matte. Okay, let me see if I get this. Ultra matte, matte, soft touch, satin, gloss, and high gloss. So there's a wide variety there. And for me, for the snow, because snow when it melts, it's wet and it's shiny, I'm going to use the high gloss for that. So prep with gesso, let it dry, flip the other side, prep with gesso, let it dry, and repeat that as many times as you need depending on how porous the stone is. If the stone is really porous in that, you'll thin it down with more water. That way you're not putting thick gesso. The thicker the gesso that goes on there, the longer it's going to take to dry. So the last thing you want to do is for paint to peel off if a person's handling it. All right, so we'll do that, and I've got some paint put aside. It's the DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylics. I've got Burnt Umber, Pearl Orange, Pearl Red, Ultramarine Blue, and Titanium White. This is the same palette I was using for the previous project, but by the time you're watching this video, there'll probably be other projects in between, because as soon as the piece is done and photographed, I'm posting it on YouTube to get as many done as possible for you guys, so you can come up with some interesting ideas to give people for holiday gifts, stocking stuffers, or just to leave outside for somebody who may not have anybody to spend the holidays with. They see something with a little card and make somebody smile. All right, so I will come back when I've got this all prepped, dried, and ready for the next step. Can you guys hear her purring? She's trying to get inside my sweater because she's cold. This cat's only happy when it's 32 degrees outside. Inside, 32 degrees Celsius. That's when she's happy. Well, if you go down to the table, she's sitting on the rocks. So I'm going to talk for a second. The idea that I had for this poor melted Frosty was just to glue it and paint it. And I thought I would try something different with how to glue it together. I like trying an experiment in every single piece, not more than one if possible, because that way if something doesn't go right, if something goes wrong, then I know what, if you do too many experiments, you're not sure something reacts with something else. So I was thinking about using the texture sand paste as the actual glue to hold it together, and then kind of fan it out so it looked like the snow is all melted, because I only have the two pieces, but a snowman has a head, body, and bottom part. There's 3 snowballs that make up a snowman. I only have 2 rocks. So I'll see if I can use a texture sand paste to kind of, you know, make up the middle part. So that was one thing. The other thing I was thinking about was if I use some, I've got some interference, gold interference, and I did a side experiment on a black stone and it looks gorgeous. I'm going to definitely do something with that to show you a really quick, easy way to make a gift that is good for anybody. Another video. I have like 40 ideas that I want to try to pump out before Christmas, and we're like a week and a half before Christmas. I'm not going to get it done, but all these ideas. So I'm going to do what I can for the next week and a half or week, and then whatever balance is left over is make the gifts in a way that it can be given any time of the year. You have the Christmas in July thing, right? Okay. Well, I have nothing else to say, so you got to move. Come on. Move. Come on. Come on. Don't meow at me. Okay, she's sitting in front of the monitor now, which means I can't see. I use the monitor to make sure that I don't get off camera here, but so we've got this little piece here. All right, so I'm thinking I want to make sure I get the little, there we go, that part here. So what I'm looking at is that's what you should see. So I want the flat part to make it look like his head's kind of facing upwards. So the texture sand paste, and it's been 2 days for drying because I was sidetracked on something else. I've got so many projects on the go and they're all lined up on the table drying. So some pieces dry faster than the others, so I can't get them done in the right order. So with this texture sand paste, think of it like drywall made with sand. Drywall putty, drywall mud made with sand. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir. You can also paint this as well. It's also it's a neutral color. So what I'm thinking about, I'm going to put a whole pile here. This is just like doing drywall. And I'm going to smush it. Now if you don't have this, you can use a glue. Then from here, I'm just going to bring this out, round it out a little bit to make it look like another, this is the actual torso. That's what the word I was thinking of, the torso. To make it look like that's the part that's, okay. She's pawing at the monitor when I'm moving. She's pawing. I wish you guys could see that. There we go. So a super simple project. That's why if you can do a whole bunch at once, then the drying time is not so bad. You literally could have 30 gifts done in a very short period of time. There we go. That's what I'm looking at. So it's going to be facing this way. So I'm going to paint the face up there. And I can still do the face accents while this is drying. You really should let it dry. And for this, I'm going to make a chromatic black. I'm going to take ultramarine blue and burnt umber, Decor Art Media Fluid Acrylics. And I'm just going to use a very little amount because the other pieces that I have to paint aren't dry yet. And I'm going to get Pyrrole Orange. This is the experiment I'm going to do. I won't use the interference. I'm going to do the painting wet. And a little bit of white. Because the texture sand paste, you can add paint to it. Well, what if we added paint to it now that it's on? That'll be my experiment. The interference, I think I'm going to reserve it for something else. All right, so I'm going to get a smaller brush. And I'm going to take some of that white and I'm just going to put the white around there. Yep, it takes it really well. I can also use the brush to manipulate the shape a little bit. So this will be an interesting experiment, using the texture sand, painting the texture sand paste while it's wet. Take a little bit more than that. I'm being very careful with how much paint I'm putting out because of Peanut Head here. Pumpkin Head. And because this white, although titanium white is opaque, it's the fluid acrylics, it is a little bit more transparent. Just a little bit. Put a little bit here. Remember when I put the gesso on, I put it on very, very roughly. Some parts are exposed, some parts are not. which will look more typical like a melted snowman, because snowmen are not pure white. If I really wanted the time, I would have underpainted the stone a darker color, then put the white in there to make the underpainting of the snow a bluish, which is more what it should look like. Now with this, what I can do, I can let it dry. I'm going to get my heat gun and give it a little bit of a blast. I'm going to take a small little liner brush, and I'm going to make my chromatic black, blue and brown. A little bit more on the blue side. All right. Oh, this is so small. Holy moly. Holy moly macaroni. I want to do this. There we go. And his mouth. I'm thinking of Frosty. I'm thinking of Frosty. And let's do his little branches. Oh my God, I'm getting all these ideas. Actual little branches instead of painting. I could stick the branches in here. That's what I'm going to do. Little branches. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. If I had a little carrot, I'd do that too. I'm going to paint his nose. Okay. Ooh, make that a bit more round. The buttons for the buttons would be, they should be black, but I want to make them red. You got to get some red in here. And when that dries, I'll put a little dot of black in the middle. All right, my branches. I've got this cute little thing I made with little ladybugs on there. I don't have much left. Chaos chews on this stuff, so I don't have it out for long. That would have been cute. Oh, this little one here. There we are. Oops, I poked the chaos in the head. There we go. He's got a little, what's that? There we go. Look, isn't that adorable? All right, then I can just touch up. There she goes, chewing the sticks. There we are. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of the chromatic black, well, probably, well, when this dries, and then in the buttons, just add 2 little black dots in there. But I don't have buttons this small, but that would have been a really cute idea. So there you go. All right, so I will come back when this is dry, and then we'll finish it up. I think this is adorable. We're all finished. She's so little. There we go. Oh, Mia, stop. So this turned out really, really well. And I put some white paint on top as well. And I took the heat gun to it. So as the sand paste is drying, the paint is cracking, which is giving some really cool effects. And thinking that, I could have used crackle paint. So I've got 3 rocks all painted up. And all the projects are, you'll be able to see them. And so this one, not sure what I'm going to call it. I know what I want to call it, but not sure if the name is appropriate because it's kind of taking a dark side. The Death of Frosty. But I think I'm going to probably think about something else. All right. So hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you found it entertaining, and comment below if you've done projects like this before, if you've come up with your own ideas, if you've even done some of these things. I'm also going to link my blog post below, so you can click onto that and you can post pictures of what you've done so we can all see examples. Unfortunately, YouTube, you can't share pictures, and not all of you are in my Facebook group, so head on over to the blog and you can just post a picture there. Alrighty, so I'm going to clean up and I'm going to start doing some more fun little Christmas things, and I'm going to start doing things differently than rocks, maybe some miniature canvases. So until I see you in that lesson, stay inspired.